Hi, welcome to this hip mobility exercise video, and we're going to work through a series of movements that will strengthen our hips and also the muscles surrounding them, as well as some stretches that will help us to open up and increase our whole range of movement through the hips and improve our lower body connectivity to help us stay mobile, stay injury free, and give us that ability to move comfortably in lots of different positions. So first of all, we're going to start with the Frogger, and for this movement I want you to, if I show you face on, first of all start with your knees wider than hip width apart and your feet come down so they're at 90 degrees. So the insides of your feet are connected to the floor, and from here you should be starting to feel your hips open, and you can rest your weight on your arms. And then I'm going to come sideways so that you can see this movement. So hips wide apart, feet at 90 degrees, and then you're just going to drop your weight back. It's tricky on this hard wooden floor. Then drop your weight forward. So if I come back to the mat to protect my knees, I'm going to show you that movement again. So I'm just dropping back, my hips feeling a stretch on the inside, and then squeezing forwards, dropping back, opening up the hips, coming forward, coming back, moving the hips past the knees, just stretching out the front of the hips, the hip flexors, and drop back again. Stick your bum out, lower your chest to the floor, get a nice stretch, hold this here. Should be getting a little bit further every time. Keep breathing, and then use your arms to help you, support you as you come back to center, and then you're going to move your hips forward again, stretching out the front, stretching out the front of your hips here. So if I show you from the side, you're stretching out, dropping your hips to the floor. And then one more time, come back. And then come forward. Okay, that's a good way to start the session, opening up those hips nice and wide. Really feel that mobility. That's not a position that you normally find yourself in, I expect. So next up, if you come to standing, we'll put one hand against the wall. We're going to do some leg swings. So first of all, I'm going to face the wall, and I'm going to swing my leg across my body so that we're getting this bigger range of motion, just gradually building up. And see, just swing my leg across my body and reaching up, using the outside of your bum muscle to lift that leg out wide and high and swing it back across the body. Do two more. Okay, good. And then we're going to swap sides. So again, you're crossing the body, getting a nice range of movement either side. Be a bit of work in the core as well, mostly your glute. And you just Opening up those hips, getting a little bit further each time. Nice movement. 2 more. 1 more. Okay, good. It's a little bit of work as well. So that's warming up those muscles, getting a nice range of movement. And then we're going to come to the floor. Work our glute muscles. So often, if we sit or if we run a lot, our hip flexors are very tight and our glutes are undercompensated for that. So we're going to work with the glute bridge. So take both knees towards your body with your ankles tight to your bum. And then you're going to take your right leg, extend it into the air, toes point towards the ceiling. Then you're just going to squeeze your left glute and lift up. And then lower, lift, lower, 3, lower, 4, keep that leg nice and straight in the air, 5, do 10 on each side, 6, bring all the way down gently under control, 7, 8, squeeze at the top, 9, and 10. Okay, great. Now come down, and with your right leg planted this time, extend your left leg and squeeze up with your right glute. 2, nice and strong through the body. 3, but all the work is coming from that glute. 4, 5, 6, keep that leg extended. 7, got 3 more, 2 more, and 1 more. Okay, very good. Now, next up we've got our 90-90, which is a really good move for opening up the hips. And how we sit for this one, facing forwards with your legs underneath you. You take your right leg out, in this case, in front of you, 90 degrees, with your chest on, your shin in line with your chest. And then at the back, your left leg is also at 90 degrees. And what you're going to do is use your right arm as support at the back. And then you're just going to put your left hand on your right leg and just come forward and feel that stretch. And come back. If you feel in control, you can come forward without that support. But nice, maintain a nice upright posture, nice sort of strong back. 3, do 2 more. Using that right arm to support, just coming forward, getting a nice stretch on the outside of the hips. Last one, and hold. And then come back under control. Use your arm if you have to, if you want to. Okay, then we're going to swap sides. So this time, the left leg, everything swings over to the right. So the left leg out in front, chest in line with that shin, and your left arm is supporting. Your right leg is at 90 degrees behind you, and it's just the same. You're just going to lower forwards, get a nice stretch. Watch your chest if you like, but use that right arm for support if it helps. Depends, one side might be more flexible than the other. Come as low as you can. then last one, we're going to hold for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, fantastic. All right, that's a really nice move. That's one that's helped me a lot with my hip mobility all through the back, that lower connectivity. Next up, we're going to follow up with a similar move, which is the pigeon pose. So if we start with the left leg, take a step forward, and then you're going to fold that left knee out to the left side in front of you, so you're at 90 degrees with your right leg behind you, and then you're going to come down to the floor, chest to the floor, as far as this is comfortable, trying to prevent that ankle from coming too close to the body, but it depends on your mobility and it can improve over time. We're just going to rest here in this position. Should get a nice stretch on the outside of the leg. Take some deep breaths in. And then slowly come up, use your arms to support you so that you don't have too much pressure on the outside of the leg. And remember, with all these stretches, you're aiming for a point where you're feeling some discomfort, but not in a painful position. Don't need to be pushing through the pain. Okay, so next up, take the right leg, lunge forward, and then you're going to send that right knee out to the right as you bring your left leg behind you, and then you're going to just move your weight, use your arms to support you. I'm just going to come back so I'm clear here. Move your body weight forward as you come over that knee and bring your weight to the floor. And try and keep your ankle at 90 degrees as much as possible. Feel a nice stretch through the outside of the leg. Take some deep breaths. And gently come back up to your start position. Okay, really worked the outside of the legs there, getting a nice bit of range of movement now, starting to warm up. We're going to use some mountain climbers to build our mobility and our strength through this range of movement. So if you come up to a plank position now, we're just going to take some slow and controlled mountain climbers. So bring your left foot to your left hand and just hold here. You should feel a nice stretch through the back of the leg, opening up your hips. You can drop your hips as you're up in this position to extend that stretch, and then step back. Then take the right foot up to the right hand. Again, drop your hips here. Feel a nice stretch out the front of the hips, back of the hamstrings. Then back, hips higher. Then step out with the left foot. Drop the hips again. Feel that stretch. Enjoy that stretch. Step back. Right foot goes forward. Feel yourself opening up through the front of the hips. Hold this position. Step back. And then we'll do one more each side. Step forward. Get a bit lower this time. Drop the hips a bit further. Step back. Step out with the right foot. Enjoy that stretch. Okay, and then back to start. That's great. That's a great way of opening up. You get a little bit of core work as well. And now we're going to come to standing, and you're just going to hinge at the hips to get a nice stretch through the lower back, through the hamstrings. So we're just going to come forward, bum goes slightly out, and now I want you to keep a nice strong lower back, hands on the top of your bum, looking a few feet away from you as you come forward. Keep a nice flat back, shoulders pinched together, not too tight, just nice and controlled. You should feel the stretch in the back of your hamstrings, fit in the lower back, but this should be nice and controlled. So hands clasped behind your back, bum comes out as you hinge over. So keep a nice, strong, straight lower back. As you come forward with the shoulders stay back. Keep a nice stretch at the bottom. Come back to standing, so you're using your glutes to protect your lower back as you stand up, nice and strong through the hamstrings and the lower back. And then last time, come forward, feel the stretch in the hamstrings as you hinge at the hips, keeping a nice straight back. Then engage the glutes as you come back up, standing. And we finish for that exercise. Now we're going to get some balance, we're going to get some movement around the hip, and we're going to do that with a lunge and rotation. So if you take your left foot forward into the lunge position, knee over the ankle, drop down, and then just rotate to the left. You can have your hands as you like them, just hold that position, and come back up to standing. Squat down again on the same side, lunge down on the same side rather. Rotate, get a nice rotation around that hip. Then come back to center, squeeze up. 3 more. So drop, stay nice and upright. Rotate. Back to center, up. 2 more. Drop. Rotate. Have a smile. Back to center. Up. And last one. Down. Rotate. Back to center. Okay, great. And then we're going to do the other side. So this time we take the right foot forward, left foot back, right knee over the right ankle. We're just going to drop down, rotate, get a nice stretch through the front of the hips, hopefully. Down, rotate, up. Separate movements, so one movement down, next movement is rotate and back, and we finish squeezing up. We've got 2 more. Down, rotate, up, last one. Down, rotate, and back up. Okay, very good. Now we're going to just do some more strengthening for this mobility, for this lower body. So we're just going to do some pulse squats. So if you just take that squat position, which is bum comes out, stay nice and upright, and then just going to pulse. Yeah, just small movements. Try and keep your thighs at about parallel to the ground. Try not to tuck the hips under. Just pulse. It should start to burn. Come up. Shake it off. Oh, there's a little burn there. Okay, and we're going to just do that again. So shake it off, feet hip width apart, toes slightly turned out, come down, and then we're just going to pulse. Just strengthen those legs, keep that glute, that bum engaged, squeeze as you pulse. You should be burning in the quads, but you should be feeling it in the bum as well. Okay, 3, 2, 1, done. Great, shake it off. Shake it off. And then we're just going to do a series of 5 toe touches. So this challenges our balance, our core stability, and gives us a chance to activate our bum again, our glute. So if you take the left foot as your standing foot, arms out wide, the right foot comes back as we hinge over, keeping a nice straight line through the back and through the leg, and then touch the left toe with the right arm, then come back up. We're going to do 5 of those. It's a challenge to the balance, works the hamstrings, but we also get to see if we can hold our hips in that position, try and maintain good stability. 2 more. Don't worry if you fall over. Just get back up and try again. And 1. Just as slow and controlled as you can make it. And then we'll swap sides. So this time I'm going to have my right leg supporting, my arms out. My left leg comes back. Reach with my left hand to my right toe. And that's 1. Going for 5. Really gets all the fine muscles working in the leg, this one, around the ankles and the calves. That's 3. Squeeze at the top. 2. It's okay to have a slight bend, must have a slight bend in that supporting leg. And 1. Good, that's a tough one. Well done if you did it. If you didn't, keep trying and get better at that. It's a tough one for stability and it's hard work as well. Okay, next up we're going to do some stretching. So if you come into the hurdler stretch, we're nearly finished this session. Just going to end with some stretching. So take your left leg out in front of you, bring your right foot into your left thigh, and then you're just going to reach for those toes. Doesn't matter if you can get to your knee or your shin or your toes, just wherever is comfortable. Fold over as best you can. And enjoy stretch. Try and keep that leg connected to the floor. Enjoy that stretch through the back of the leg. You can pull your toes towards you if you can reach. Extend that stretch. Just hold it here. Okay, and then swap legs. Right leg comes out, left foot comes into the right thigh. Right arm extends. Reach for the toes, reach for the ankles. Take a hold. Just gently come over. Feel the stretch through the back of the leg, the lower back. Just hold here. Deep breath. Extend the stretch. Okay, and then we've got 2 more movements. So come to your back for this one, and then you're going to take your left ankle over your right knee. So right foot is on the floor, right knee in the air, left ankle crosses over that right knee, and then you're just going to put your arms out in T position, and you're going to drop everything to the left side and just feel the stretch through the side of your body. Use your leg to extend the stretch if you feel you can. And then use your core to bring yourself back up to centre, and then just drop the other way so that your left foot comes to the floor. And you feel the stretch through the left side. And back to centre. We're going to swap sides. So this time the left foot is planted, the right foot crosses over, everything at 90 degrees. And then you're going to drop to the right and use your right leg to just push your left leg to the floor, if that feels good. And back to centre and drop to the left. So that stretch through the side of the body, through the lower back. And use your core again to just bring yourself safely back to the middle. And get yourself up to seated. Come over onto your hands and knees. Toes touching together, knees wide apart. And then you're just going to sit back onto your heels. Reach forward. And just end this session with a nice stretch throughout the back, through the lower back in particular. Just take some deep breaths. There you are. And we're done for this session. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you felt that that really helped open up your hips, and it's a session that you can repeat time and again to help improve and see how far you go with each stretch. See how far you can increase your range of movement and your strength through different positions. Please do leave a like and a comment to let me know how you got on with this video, and I look forward to seeing you next time.